Hey there, it's me, Riggy Randy. Welcome. This is the video on demand, or the VOD, of when I played Dungeons & Dragons with a few new players that are friends of mine. This is a 5th edition homebrew game, where there are custom races, there are some custom items, and I'm trying some new systems. The last time I ran a campaign, I ran all sorts of things wrong. It was really embarrassing on my part, so I'm probably going to do some campaign diaries down the road, or just a summary of some things that happened. There are characters in this campaign setting that come from that, so I'll clear that up. Also, disclaimer, partway through, just after the combat setting, I had one of my players need to drop out. They are okay. They're doing just fine. They had a little bit of an anxiety attack. And I'm working with her to see if there's a better character glove that'll fit so she can roleplay. She just got a bit nervous. She's okay now, and I'm keeping my doors open and just supporting my players like a good dungeon master would do. I made a lot of mistakes in my last campaign. I'm looking to remedy them this time around. Enjoy the VOD. If you are one of the players listening to this, is the supercut, so I removed quite a lot of the inquiries and slowdown to make it more of a casual enjoying experience. If you want to share this link with someone to listen to it, you are free to. It is unlisted, it is not public. I don't know if I'll make it public or add music beneath it, but this is just the raw edited version. There might be an edited version, there might not, I don't know. Anyway, enjoy the VOD. You draw in a sharp breath as you snap your eyes open. It feels like you've been asleep for days on a stone floor. Your back aches, your head throbs, and your belly growls. Your vision is blurred at first, but after a vigorous shake, everything focuses and clears up. You look directly in front of you. The air around you is warm and quite sticky from the present humidity. In your line of sight, you can see a forest, or what could be described as a craven love child between a marsh and a forest. The trees around are thin at the trunk, spindly and tangled at the roots, their canopy a terrible mess of vines that totally obscures your view of the sky. Sunlight gives its most earnest effort to pierce through the overgrowth, granting you only a basic vision of greens, grays, and slate colors all around you.
I rub my head as I slowly shift upwards. After a few pats of my very plush body, and a rummage through my hair, shaking free some very crunchy leaves, I notice that I'm indecent in a way. It feels that way, at least. Without any of my belongings, it just feels unsafe. Oh well, nothing that I can handle. I decide to get up and at least get a stretch in. And I peer around, taking a step forward, seeing if there's anyone else around me that I can get some answers from.
As you get your bearings, you hear a rustling of gravel and cloth about 30 feet to your rear left side. It's thunder! No, it's not thunder. This is Mill, so feel free to take your turn there. Go ahead. Keep in mind that your belongings are not on your person.
Like all of us? All of us don't have our belongings.
None of you have your belongings on your person.
Through the bushes comes out a strange aquatic creature. Already! Already!
Don't worry about it.
He looks very confused. He doesn't know where he is. He lays eyes on the rather large figure. It's the first creature he's seen in a while.
Mask, you look up to notice Rue over your shoulder, but you look over your opposite shoulder to see, Sammy, 30 feet from you on your other side. They slowly hum to life, and now, Ding, it is your turn to do what you will do. Keep in mind, your hat is not on your head, and you don't have your belongings on you.
Oh, fuck. That's the first thing she says.
There you go. That is an opening. That is an opening to a character. Fuck. And if your characters want to curse, go ahead. I don't care if your characters drop F-bombs. This is our version of the setting, so do whatever you feel like.
Alright, so I'm guessing Ding is passed out. Like she's just waking up too.
Yeah.
Or is she just appearing?
Either or. I interpreted it as you being knocked out for a while, but
I feel like okay. So she's just gotten up. She's just getting to know her surroundings. The view is a little bit bright for her, so she's a bit like she can't really make out shit that much. But she walks towards Rue and Mask, and looks at them. Oh, hey, did you guys steal my belongings?
no.
Have you seen a giant fucking hat like just laying around here somewhere? I kind of need
in
it.
real time in my head, I'm converting it to the Shirley voice from Courage the Cowardly Dog. So it's all,
Yes,
it's just all like, have you guys taken my belongings? It was a wide brim hat in fanny pack.
It was the fun. I need this for my vision.
Please continue. I didn't mean to cut it.
It's okay. Has anybody seen my hat, please?
I have not.
You're not. Fuck. Damn it. Okay, I'm gonna kind of like tone down the cursing because that's just my anxiety.
Oh, it's fine.
No, yeah, I
do what
feel
you want.
Okay. Okay.
As it's been some time since they have awoken, his thoughts start to become more clear, and as they become more clear, he begins to realize that he is in an unfamiliar place. He does not recall last being in a forest so dense, and for that, he starts to panic a bit. As well, he notices that his belongings are gone.
Oh no.
He did not notice it before because his mind was cloudy. But now he begins to panic. That's where all of his gold was!
Excuse me, sir. I was just asking where my hat was. You didn't have to freak out like that.
Oh,
Leave him alone! He's trying!
I'm just trying to ask him a question.
Your stupid hat does not hold importance over my 100 gold.
So is Mask standing up on his little fins, trying to be a little man at this point?
No, he's got his water.
Oh, you did.
Well, that would actually be hilarious. Is his belongings his water bodies? Oh,
Yeah,
no.
because your boots and your gloves will be part of your belongings.
Oh shit! I didn't think about that. I thought you meant like just his bag and his.
oh no! Little man. Ruth shakes her head a bit and squeezes her eyes shut before opening again, staring wide-eyed below her. Her eyes flick between the two aquatic creatures standing before her. And after a moment, she recoils in disgust, proclaiming, "Ew, are these fucking gremlins?"
Look who's talking.
She was...
Rue is.
Yeah.
I know that was the thing.
Oh.
She... oh. Ruth shakes her head a bit, closing her eyes once more before opening them, staring hard beneath her legs at the two creatures below her. This seems like a bad fucking LSD trip.
Oh boy.
Are we in medieval times?
You don't know this yet.
That's true. That's true.
Oh yeah, because okay, that's
Who
gonna
says
be
there's
amazing.
Who says there's no medieval LSD? You never know.
Yeah, they made
man.
drugs in the medieval times.
Ding looks up at Rue. Then back down to Mask. A little flaily jellyfish-like creature who's still panicking over his belongings. Alright. Well, I'm guessing you two don't know where my shit is. But I should say, though, do you guys know where the hell we are?
I don't have a clue, my dude. But trust me, it seems really fucking bizarre so far.
Alright, great. I guess we're all lost then.
Would one of you like to
If
look
there's-
around?
Alright.
I would.
I have 10.
We got 10.
Okay.
Shit.
So
Oh,
I'm
alright.
gonna say that Mask, You notice some backpacks slung haphazardly within several dried thorn bushes about the height of a child. Each pack is hung haphazardly on some thorns, and you notice personal effects laying within each of the bushes. One thorn bush has an explorer's pack, an intricately tipped quarterstaff, a component pouch, and a spellbook bound safely shut within it. The next thorn bush has a wide-brimmed hat with a wooden instrument strung on its tip. It has a very small scholar's pack hanging upon it, an arcane focus, and 2 diminutive sheathed daggers lying at the foot of the plant. The last brush has a dungeoneer's pack hanging from it, a whip loop caught amongst its thorns, and an arcane focus, along with 2 daggers lying at the foot of the brush. Each of you recognize your personal effects upon these child-sized thorn brushes. And they are about in the center of where you woke up.
Mask observes the bushes and then notices an immediate problem to do with his size.
Oh no!
Feeling quite pathetic, he kindly asks, I know we do not know each other, but can one of you please help me grab my belongings, for I cannot.
Have you seen my size, sir?
Oh yeah, this is the point where if Ding didn't create her arms, she's armless.
Yes.
Oh no! Rue's taking care of 2 little pet fishes, basically. She's
Alright.
the only one with arms! Oh no!
Mask struggles to slither over to Rue and asks, you're the only one who can reach into said bushes. I will repay your debt later, but can you please grab our stuff?
Rue bends down, a smirk on her face. But of course! Now who am I to deny such cute, helpless, little worthless creatures like you some help? She condescendingly pinches Vespa's cheek before letting go, standing back up once again. Don't worry, buddies. If I need to be the arms and back here, you don't have to worry about that.
Ding frowns in disgust.
Can I just stop and say that in 10 minutes, you guys have went from, like, paralyzed with choices, and now you're here.
I'm still a bit paralyzed, but I'm starting to chill out a little bit.
Yes.
So, like I said,
Welcome to Dungeons & Dragons, where you will laugh a lot.
Rue seems to sense Ding's disgust from like a mile away, turning to face them before bending down again. I'm sorry. Are we gonna have a problem with this decision?
As long as you don't touch my stuff, you big fat cow, then I will be fine.
Oh! Oh no. Rue seems to not take this comment lightly. Her brows furrowing subtly as her smile widens, though clearly not with glee, but very, very, very personal offense. Oh, I'm sorry, but I need to touch your things in order to grab them. Looks like you're gonna have to find a way to grab them yourself.
Fine, I will. I'll climb this tree with my little my suckles. Can I do that yet?
You can just straight up summon your arms. You don't need a spellcast focus to do that.
Oh, fuck
Yeah,
you.
and Mill, you don't need a spellcast focus to use Create Water.
right.
Because that's your racial.
Okay. So,
Okay.
wait. So,
You go first.
alright, fine then. I will. Ding suddenly, in a quick snap, summons 2 demon-like shadow arms and proceeds to walk closely to the belongings before turning around and grinning, doing a smug little grin at Rue. Well, if you don't want me to touch your belongings and steal a couple, let's say, gold from you, then you might have to, take it from me, bitch.
Oh no.
Okay. After
Quick,
this,
fast. Oh.
Oh shit. You
Quick, fast, in a hurry, Bruce steps over to the thorn bushes, grabbing her belongings and slinging them nonchalantly over her shoulder.
As you draw closer to
Sigh.
your personal effects, each of the plants alarmingly bolt to life.
Oh shit!
Each of you need to make need to make a saving throw. So, roll a d20.
Oh fuck my
Roll
phone!
a
Okay,
d20. Add your strength. Let me know what you get.
Alright.
Okay. Oh
Do we add the
shit.
modifier
Oh,
too?
you just add your strength modifier to it. Ah, thunder!
Yeah, I got -1.
Oh no!
So my 5 turned into
Yes.
4.
Okay, so what else? What did everyone else get?
Fuck.
I got
21.
a 12.
And what'd you get, Mel?
I got
12.
21.
Okay. So,
Oh,
so both Ding and Mel, you drop your personal effects and you fall prone. You pretty much have fallen like flat on your asses in surprise.
oh no!
no!
Alright, so
Uh-oh.
you get a better look at these shrubs. These are horrid plants whose conifer-like needles grow all over their bodies in quivering clumps. Where a person's face would usually be lies a flat, knotty stump, and where their eyes normally reside are 2 crimson thorns. Imagine a person with 8-inch thorns for eyes, no mouth, and no nose. This is the needle blight. They're all simultaneously fleeing your personal effects from their bodies in assorted directions. Your spellcasting focus or component pouches are far from your weapons. Your packs smother your weapons, making access quite difficult, and about 20 feet from your current positions. The 3 needle blights reel back and shriek in unison, a cacophony of what you imagine a flower bed being violently torn from its preparatory soil, screaming bloody murder would sound like. The 6 solid seconds this shriek persists feels like an eternity. Each needle blight stands 5 feet in front of you. Each one contorts its body in a predatory stance as the thorns all over their arms protrude and react rhythmically, as in anticipation for their first fine meal in months. The first act of combat is determining surprise, and since you have a feat where you cannot be surprised while you're conscious, you are not surprised. Yes. Everyone else is.
Oh no!
Sad.
So, shit. Okay, that's not his reaction, don't worry. Shit.
I'll consider this a free action while they're retrieving goods. How's about that? So, I'll explain to you. You have a needle blight directly in front of you, 5 feet. 20 feet backwards are your personal effects. They're in different lumps, so you can only pick up your spellcast focus and your... Well, actually, you can only pick up your spellbook and your component pouch, or you can pick up your pack. Your quarterstaff is underneath the pack, so you won't be able to grab it this time.
Oh,
So do you
alright.
want to move to go grab that?
Yes. I want to grab my spellbook.
Are you ready for a cruel lesson?
Uh-oh.
Okay. So in combat, there's something called an attack of opportunity, and if you move out of the range of a monster that can reach you, they get an opportunity attack when you don't use a disengage action. So the needle blight's gonna try and claw at you.
Right.
Does a 18 hit you? Okay.
Yes.
So you take 2 points of damage.
Okay.
And you may now proceed with the rest of your turn.
Okay. Well, the movement was to grab the book, right?
Yeah, it was to grab...
Or was that the action?
That's your movement. If you want to grab items, that is basically a free action or an interaction on that chart, so you can just do
Right.
it freely. It's something
right.
It's something quick,
Okay.
like you say something or you make a gesture, so that's a free thing you can do on every turn. And
Right,
what
okay.
just happened, the attack of opportunity thing, if you use your action to disengage, you can avoid this, but sometimes it will be more worth it just to take the damage to attack back. So I feel like if I do that to you early, you'll remember it.
Okay, well then in that case, I'd like to cast Sleep.
You would like to cast Sleep, and it's blossoms out, and all of the tree blights are in a small cluster within range. So now you need to roll me. It's 5d8, correct?
5d8. Let's see. I'm just trying to keep track of like where it's listed.
I have your PDF too, so let me load it up in Chrome.
Yeah, I'm trying to find where it is on the sheet. Oh yeah, there it is. 5d8. Okay.
So roll your
I'll do
D8.
so.
Roll your D8 5 times, and let me know what the total is.
Okay, 17.
Okay.
Wait, no, 16.
16,
That's
okay.
it. Sorry.
So,
But that's
the way
Oh
sleep.
shit! Before that, sorry, I forgot to add my modifiers.
Oh,
Sorry, I
there's no checks. It's just you roll 5d8 and then I subtract it.
Right. Okay, so 16.
Okay, so let me get everyone's not your guys. Let me get everyone's HP totals. I had them in a different. There it is. So it's gonna start with the lowest and go up. So you had 16.
Yeah.
So this actually puts your needle blight to sleep and only yours because the HP
Okay.
does not exceed the other ones.
Right.
So the needle blight directly opposed to you is magically asleep and it will not bother you further, but the other two you can definitely see struggle for a moment and then they stand upwards again and they focus their thorn eyes on their prey. Okay. So, going in order here. This is the surprise round, so if you guys are surprised, you don't take your first turn. So, who's first in initiative? Rue is. So, the first Needle Blight is going to... It puts its hand up, and you see a thorn come out from its palm, and after a moment, it fires the thorn at you like a little arrow. Oh god. Okay,
Oh, no.
so does an 8 hit you?
An 8?
Yeah,
No.
it does not. You may describe how you parry, catch, or otherwise evade this attack.
She takes a moment to register before tucking and rolling out of the way.
So it misses, and the Thorn Blight does not move. It stays in its cluster. Needle Blight 2 is... I don't think I need to make a save. I think I don't save from that at all. Let's see. Yada yada yada, yada 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 yada, yada yada yada. Okay, cool. So, Thorn Blight 2 is asleep. It does not bother you. And... Or Needle, Thorn, same thing. And the third Needle Blight is going to do the same thing. It's going to put its... It's going to raise its forearm, and off its forearm you see a thorn jut toward you. Ooh, oh, I missed my tray. Does a... Oh, wow, does a 13 hit you?
Fuck, it is 13.
Okay, so it does hit you. So that is
Oh, no.
1d6 plus 1. You take 2 points of damage.
Oh, jeez.
Also, if you take damage, you can describe in the way that you take damage if you'd like.
As Dings tries to, squirm out of the way, as Rue did, it hits her in the stomach area, and she tumbles forward.
Oh no.
Ah, fuck.
Okay, so
Basically.
that's the surprise round. This is something you can also do to monsters if you see them ahead of time and you get the jump on them when they are not paying attention to you to start combat. So if you can see something that might oppose you, it would behoove you to possibly try and get surprised. Now we're in the regular rounds, and our very first person in initiative who rolled a nat 20 on initiative check is Rue.
Oh, sorry. Where do you rate your damages?
You can make a note on a piece of paper and just subtract it from your HP on the left of the slash. So
Okay.
right now you have 9 HP. I also have one on my side to keep track of your HP. So, so Rue, from where you're standing, behind you is your arcane focus and your backpack. You'll only have enough time to grab one and then take an action. What will you do?
I want to grab my arcane focus.
Okay. So, since you're moving out of the Needle Blight's way and you didn't disengage, it gets an opportunity of attack on you. Oh, does a 20 hit you?
Yes!
Okay.
God damn it!
So you take 2 points of damage.
Shit.
I know it's kind of cruel, but if I do attack of opportunity on you early, you'll remember that it can happen.
Yeah.
And for some combats, I'll have a nice little grid with like tokens on it, but this is called Theater of the Mind, where it's a very contained area. And with Theater of the Mind, typically you're always within range to hit something with a ranged attack, and you're always in melee range. But like if you move away from it and it's specified that it's close to you, that's your only inkling. So you move back and you grab your spellcasting focus in your hand. What would you like to do next? You're also 20 feet from it, so you are not next to it anymore.
So I got a 4.
Wait, did you roll a 4?
No, I rolled a 1.
Okay, here's your lesson about nat ones. If you roll a nat 1, it automatically fails.
Oh,
God
no.
damn it.
So you can describe
No.
if you get a nat 1, you can describe it as you astronomically miss, or the spell just fails to take effect. So which would you like to describe it as? Like you put your hand out to cast it and it just goes instead.
I wanna make it so like it's astronomically fucking misses.
Okay. Okay, go for
Like
it.
she puts her hand up too fast and just fucking shoots it in the sky.
Nice save.
Okay, and that's your turn.
Alright.
So the first needle blight hears this just this pass over its head.
Uh-huh.
And it's gonna make
Yeah.
another ranged attack toward you. Oh my god, really? Let me re-roll that. It's the same exact rolls last time. Let me get different dice. Okay, that's better. Does an 8 hit you?
Does an 8?
Does an 8 hit you?
No.
Okay. So it fires another thorn at you, and the shot just goes wide. It does not hit its mark at all. And now it's Mask's turn again. You're 20 feet from the needle blight that you placed to sleep.
Okay. First question.
Okay.
Can I attack the other one?
Yes, you may. Very perceptive.
I'm sorry, I'm just making sure.
No, you are a good player for realizing and asking that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Second question. Can I choose not to move?
You can, but your needle blight is asleep, and it won't get attack of opportunities against you. And 2,
Right.
you're not within melee range of another one. So you're free to do whatever you want.
I just don't see a reason to move.
Yeah, with your ranges,
Yeah,
you don't
okay.
really have a reason. You could also use you can use your interaction to pick up your pack now if you want.
Alright, actually, yeah, I'll do that. I'll pick up the pack.
Okay, and you still have an action, so feel free.
Yeah, okay. So, I choose to cast Magic Missile.
Alright, so you get... The way that Magic Missile works is you can direct all of your magic missiles at one target and roll d4 3 times, or you can spread the damage out.
I think I'd like to attack all at once on... what are they called?
They're
Just
they're needle blights. If you just
Needle blights, okay.
If you just tell me which player is opposing which one, I know which one it is. Because on my notes it says Needle Blight 1, Needle Blight 2, Needle Blight 3.
Yeah, I was gonna go Needle Blight 1.
Okay, because that is the one opposite of Rue. Alright, so you're gonna name all 3 of your bolts.
Yep, so do I roll the same amount of dice?
And just roll your d4 3 times and tell me your total.
Alright.
And I'll apply it. Because you don't even need to... The thing about Magic Missile is you don't even need to make an accuracy check. It just works.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got... And then I have to add +1. It says... Oh, no, hold on, I'm reading this wrong. A dart deals... Oh, no, a single dart has a +1 force damage?
Oh, so it's the roll +1. So add +3
Yes.
to your total. Add +3 to your total.
Alright, so I have 10 damage.
Holy crap, okay. So, as each of your darts hit this needle blight, you can see, like, you see part of its leg shatter off, and now it's standing on, like, one leg.
Mhm.
Its left arm shatters off, and you can hear it hiss in reaction. This thing is bloodied, which means it's less than half health.
Ooh. Right.
That's the end of your turn?
Nice.
Yes.
Alright.
Okay, needle blight, So, your Needle Blight is asleep and cannot take an action, so it passes on its turn. So, Ding, what will you do? Would you like to pick up your Scholar's Pack? Because that's a free thing that you can do this turn.
How close am I to this creature?
You are within... let me see how much HP you have. You are 20 feet from it. That's the only way I can tell that you're further away is that I got an opportunity attack on you.
Then yeah, I'm gonna go pick up my bag.
Okay. So you pick up your fanny pack and you strap it to your waist. And now you still have an action that you may take. What will you do?
Alright, cool. I'm gonna cast Eldritch.
Did you get to take an action last time?
No, I got hit.
Oh, I didn't do your action, so tell you what, I'll give you another... I'll let you shoot 2 bolts of Eldritch Blast. How's about that?
Sure.
Because now here's the part of D&D is I will make mistakes and sometimes I'll forget stuff. And if I remember that I made a mistake or I don't know I made one, I won't know. So
that's nice.
I will remedy mistakes as I see them. So, okay, roll for hit and add your spell attack. It should really
15.
change. Okay, so 15, is that with your roll?
Yes.
Okay, so that is a hit. Roll 1d10. Are you casting on the one that is opposite of you? Because you can hit anyone you want. The one that's opposite of Mask is asleep. And the one that's opposite of Rue has 1 arm and 1 leg at the moment.
I think I want to hit the one that just attacked me.
The one that just attacked you. That would be Needle Blight 3. Alright, roll for damage. So 1d10.
1d10. I got 10?
You got a 0? Oh god, you got a 10. Okay.
Oh fuck.
So
okay.
as this bolt hits it, its entire shoulder is severed from its body. And it is barely hanging on. It literally can barely stand. It is...
Oh shit!
It's not just bloodied, it's terminal, which pretty much means it's at 1 HP.
Oh my god, nice.
And you may make another spell attack since I made a mistake on Eldritch Blast. You can hit any one of the ones that you want.
I think I'll hit the one that's sleeping.
You want to hit the one that's sleeping? Okay, roll for hit.
Yeah. Let's see. I got 20... 21.
That is a hit. Roll for damage.
8.
Oh my god. Okay, so not only does the same exact thing happen, but you knock the bottom of its body off, and it's having to stand with its arms. It's also terminal.
Oh well.
And
that monster.
That is the end of your turn. Holy shit. Also, the sleeping Needle Blight now is awake. It is definitely awake after that.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so, first off, I want to say good job. I have something scripted that might happen, but I don't think it's going to happen at this point, based on how this battle is going. So, Rue, it's your turn. Would you like to quickly... I didn't ask you if you wanted to grab your pack last time, so you want to go ahead and grab all of your belongings as a free action?
Hell yeah.
Okay, so now all of your weapons are on your person, and your pack is back on your back again. What would you like to do? Also, I have to notate that you used a level 1 spell slot, Mask.
Can I cast Firebolt again?
You may. Which one would you like to hit? Do you want to hit the one that's opposite of you, the one that's opposite of Mask, or the one opposite of Ding? Because I'm going to be honest with you, they're all in a very similar disposition right now.
Damn, dude.
I'll hit the one opposite me.
Alright, roll for hit.
19.
That is a hit. Roll for damage.
D2?
D10.
Oh. Connection's lagging, I'm so sorry.
Dude, at least you didn't fully disconnect like I did earlier.
I got a 10.
That's true.
You got max damage. Okay, so...
Hell yeah.
Are you ready for a concept called the Rule of Cool? So, when you incapacitate a creature with an attack, DMs will often be like, describe how it meets its demise at your hands.
Oh.
So, using Firebolt, you may now freely describe how it meets its demise, because it is at -6 hit points.
Oh my god.
You super killed that shit.
Good.
How'd you do it?
Okay. Rue, with her brows heavily furrowed and her teeth tightly grit, she summons a powerful bolt of fire from her hands, launching it towards the Thornblight, Needleblight, whatever. The moment it makes contact, the creature is swallowed in a blaze of fury, lighting up the area around it as it combusts, leaving nothing but ash behind. Some brambles.
Yeah, it is just completely immolated, and it is nothing but a pile of ash. Good job!
Yeah. Hell yeah, perfect.
and since it is dead, it does not get a turn. It is now Mass turn.
Alright.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
No movement made.
Also, at this point, you should all have your belongings on your person again. So if you have a
I don't
weapon,
have my
you
hat.
on your next turn, you'll have your hat.
Okay, thank you.
It's
Yeah.
just a hat!
No, it's a weapon.
It's important.
Is it what?
It's a
Okay.
weapon.
It's a weapon.
If Dean chooses to do it, you'll see what it does.
Alright. The action I cast is Magic Missile.
You're gonna cast Magic Missile again?
Yeah.
Oh,
Magic missile.
okay. So where
Is
would
it-
you like?
okay.
Where would you like to direct your first bolt?
The first bolt goes to the terminal one.
Okay,
One?
don't even roll for damage, because if you rolled a 1, it would die. Describe its demise.
Yeah. Last cast the magic missile. It swiftly pierces it through the head as it falls to its death.
Alrighty.
Within
So,
a second, it is no longer.
Oh.
you only have one target you can direct your second magic missile bolt. So you're going to do that, yes?
Yes.
What if I told you to not even roll for damage? Just describe its death because it has 1 HP. Your minimum roll would kill it.
Well, the same thing would happen. It just pierces it through the head.
Hop, boop. Dead.
like a bullet.
Okay.
Wait.
So in front of you are a pile of ash and 2 needle blights that have been pretty much bifurcated across the middle of their body, and they're all kind of writhing and shriveling up into dry shrubs that no longer look quite humanoid. So, why did it load like all of my other things I closed? That's weird. Anyway.
Oh no.
Roll. You guys cleared that so quick I couldn't even run the tutorial actions I was going to do. Good job!
Brilliant.
Wow.
You just got lucky.
Congratulations, you survived to explore the Feywild another day. Alright,
Hooray.
so let me give you your... After you complete combat, not all the time, but quite a bit of the time, you will get spoils. So, I have a predetermined amount of spoils for you. If you look in Clemmacia spoils, it'll be a log of how much XP and stuff you get. Because I had a player, I will not name names, that would constantly lose track of stuff because he would not write them down.
Good
So
job.
this is a method that you guys can write down everything you gain. And at this point, if Ding didn't get to use her flail hat, but now she places it on her head.
Oh yay, hooray. She puts it on her head and just like dusts it off like there we go. There it was.
Alright, so you guys have a moment of respite. Feel free to interact with one another. Now that you've seen your capabilities as characters.
Should we make a fire, guys? To stay the night. For rest.
A fire, you say? Oh, don't worry, man. Fire is my specialty.
Alright, cool.
Cool.
Alright. I guess I'll be heading off tomorrow. That was a Actually, I shouldn't say anything.
I was gonna say,
Go ahead.
I don't even think there is a place to head off.
As you all look around you, your entire environment is just engrossed in thick fog and just choked by trees. It almost seems like you're locked in this circle, and only the circle.
Oh no!
I was gonna say, I just like how fucking Ding is like, alright, see y'all tomorrow. Like, this is fun. I'm out.
I'm leaving. Good night. I don't know. Just fuck.
Okay. We'll have to make plans later. For now, we must take rest.
Alright, fine.
Sorry why it's so funny. It's just nonchalant. Like, fine.
And Ding, behind you, you hear the foliage behind you burst open.
Huh?
And then you hear a very heavy whoosh over your head. Then after a moment, there's a thud between all three of you.
Oh, no.
As a new character, falls on her face.
Oh shit. Can Ding nearly get squished by her?
No, it was a flying sidekick and you were too short. After a moment, she shakes her head in the mud and looks up, and her glasses on her nose are crooked. She's all like, "What? I heard a shriek from this way. What? Where'd they go?" And then she looks down and she's face first in needle blight remains. And then she hops up to her rear, she's like, "Ah!" and then scoots back. And then she looks around to see all of you. It's all like, "Well, looks like all y'all can handle yourselves. Hello."
Hi. She observes you from, head to toe, and then looks at Rue. Great.
Oh.
Another one.
Yeah,
Two characters that squish me.
Yeah, from this perception, you can see that she is a medium-sized creature that is very rotund. She has a plush belly that's tucked underneath a white and blue action underneath a belt. She has white gloves on her hands, and in her hand she's holding a pair of bronze knuckles, which are over her knuckles. It seems that she flew in thinking that she was going to get a taste of combat, and she was entirely too late. From her face, you can see that she has two large red-orange bundles of hair that are tied together tightly. She has azure blue eyes with a now crooked pair of wide eyeglasses on her nose. And she is yellow with several spottings of brown. After a moment, she stands up and dusts herself off. And she looks around, and she's all like, "There's a lot less of y'all than I saw before. Huh."
What do you mean by that? Was there more people here? Oh shit, Randy cut off again.
No, I heard you.
Oh fuck, sorry.
I heard you.
I heard you.
I heard you.
But after a moment, she merrily she swirls her bronze knuckles against her index fingers and puts them away in a small round backpack on her back. And she's like, "Oh, maybe we should talk about that later." And then she claps her hands together and she says, "Well, I'm glad to see that everybody made it here okay."
Rue puts her hands on her hips, cocking her head slightly. Here? So you're telling me this isn't a bad trip? Great to know that I really am surrounded by a bunch of weirdos.
After a moment, she withdraws a white envelope with an azure waxen seal on it and says, "Don't y'all remember the invitation I gave y'all?"
I'm sorry, what?
Would each of y'all like to search your packs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As each of you search your packs, lo and behold, there is a very identical envelope in your belongings. Ding, it's tucked into a diary or journal you had. Mask, it is tucked into your spell book as if it was a bookmark. And Rue, it was just kind of haphazardly placed between some of your materials, and it's a little bit rumpled.
Yeah, accurate.
Strange of me to not remember this.
Did you
Oh,
sneak
so-
this into our bags? Did
Mar-
you steal our stuff?
Marumeru looks up and she's like, no, I didn't do that.
Ding pulls out a dagger. You better tell me what's going on right now.
And then Marumeru looks down with the gleam in her eye and says, you want to fight? You want to wrestle?
I got two of these.
Ding.
Marumeru, after a moment, is all like, oh yeah, I missed the action, but I'm down to go. And she whips out both of the bronze knuckles back onto her knuckles again. And she looks your way and she places her weight evenly on both of her feet. She is twice your size and at least quadruple your width.
Ding backs up a little bit, but tries not to show that she's fucking afraid.
Marumeru is
Ding.
going to make an insight check against you.
Uh-oh.
That is a 10. She can clearly see that you're intimidated.
God damn it!
I actually made that an easy check, which is a difficulty check of 10, and I rolled a 10. I'm like, yep, I succeed.
Nice.
Dude, can I pick up Ding?
Do it.
You can do that if you want. And in response, she puts away her bronze knuckles and laughs. She said, well, I'm sure y'all have a lot of questions for me. I suppose we should introduce ourselves. Where's a little blurb I wrote about her? I wrote a specific little thing, and I love it.
Shit.
So, here we go. Where... Did I erase it? No. Okay, I'll have to improvise. So it's like, my name is Maru, or Meru. My mama and daddy never could make up their mind on how it was spelled or pronounced, but you can call me any combination of the two. I've seen all y'all before, and I have played a part in bringing y'all here. I'm sure you're full of questions, but let's create us a here fire, and we'll go from there. So you guys finished the first pillar of adventure, which is combat. We're going to go into the second pillar, which is social.
Oh boy.
Heck yeah.
So this is a free period where we're able to interact with each other and ask questions and all that. So I will let one of y'all guide the conversation as Marumeru attempts to build a fire.
So, you guys want to tell me what in the fresh Sam hell you guys are?
Are you talking to me? Because I should be asking you the same thing.
Well, it's pretty obvious who I am, aren't I?
Marumeru looks up and she's like, yeah, she's a smooth skin, can't you see? She doesn't have scales or fur like we do.
A smooth skin? Is that what you call demons around these parts?
And then Marumeru puts her finger on her chin. She's like, what's a demon, Nan?
Never mind.
Rue turns to Mask and points at him.
And you, what are you, some sorta rogue shrunken head grew 2 sizes too big?
Wasn't that rather rude of you to say?
I'm just japing, buddy. You're a pretty cool dude. I mean, I saw the way you took down those weird thorn people bushes. That was pretty rad.
If it weren't for my help, though. You gotta be
Well,
fair.
I was just defending myself.
Also, you burned both your level 1 spell slots. Holy shit.
I know. I
Like, I'm just realizing that now. I'm like, wait, you have 2 level 1 spell slots and you burned them both.
know. And that's the hardest way to learn.
Yep, that's the way to learn.
Oh, well.
Anyway, so Marumeru's like, I've told y'all my name. What may I call y'all?
Friends call me Rue.
You guys can call me Ding. I'm not giving you my real name. You know, I honestly don't even know how I got here. I was just doing my usual business back at home, and now I'm here. So I'm just as lost as you guys.
Rue lets out a shrill shriek of laughter.
Ding? What kind of a name is Ding? That isn't even, like... What? Did you make that up yourself?
She looks at you, unamused. Yeah, I get that a lot. But you should. I mean, look who's talking. Rue.
But Marmay was all like, they must call you rude, because that's what you are. Ding is cute.
Yeah, I guess some people do call me rude.
I want to see why not.
Look who's talking, huh?
So anyway, Fat Cat.
Oh,
Marmay laughs at this. She's not even slightly insulted.
oh, wholesome.
You think there's any place? No wait. Can you tell? Can you just tell us where we are? Cause I'm getting kind of sick of this.
Boop. There we go. Sorry, I was responding to a direct message. Anyway.
Oh, he's okay.
But
Did it feel good?
Marumir, after a moment, she's like, well, I can tell you where we are. I can tell you where we are in the sense of the world. But... And then you can see her eyes kind of scrunch together and she grits her teeth. I can't exactly tell you where we are precisely at this moment.
Oh, great. Thanks.
Rue approaches Marumeru, poking her stomach gently.
Well, can you tell us where to get a good bite to eat? You look like you know where some good grub is.
And after a moment, Marumir is like, I do know where to get some good grub at. And then she takes her pack off of her back, and she says, unfortunately, we are stuck in this here swampland, so we're going to have to eat rations for now.
No. Oh, beans.
And as you say beans, Marumir slowly pulls out a can of baked
Oh,
beans.
no.
Oh, yeah! Woo!
So for those of you that have packs, Rue, I know that you have a Dungeoneer's pack, and that does include rations.
Yeah.
I know Mill, the Explorer's pack contains rations, but Ding, unfortunately, Scholar packs do not contain rations.
Oh no!
So you have the challenge of having to convince someone to give you some of their food, because you are hungry.
Oh, fuck.
Oh great, what a great mission. A great mini mission.
I got it, boys. You ready for this? Ding takes a second to look at her pouch, and then up to others. She thinks for a while. And then she looks over to Rue, because she probably knows, because judging by the size of how big
Any order.
Mario.
Any order is fine. She literally said that.
Marumera, judging by the size of how big Marumera is, it doesn't seem like she's gonna give up her food anytime soon. Instead, she hands over to Rue and says, hey, so, by the way, I work over at this fortune teller shop where I used to live in. I was wondering if you wanted to hear your fortune, or if you'd rather keep it a secret, because I saw something in there I think you might be interested in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's the catch here?
Give me your food.
Is that it?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Alright, I guess you don't want to know.
Well, here's the dealio. If I like what I hear, and I'm satisfied with it, I might consider sharing.
Uh-oh.
Oh, don't worry about it. Continue.
Okay. Alright, then. She proceeds to head over to her she's wearing her fanny pack. Fuck. She proceeds to turn over her fanny pack so it's facing right in front of her, unzips it, grabs out this little, metal box looking thing, presses a button to expand it. It's a mask looking thing with a giant eye in the middle.
Oh.
She puts it on her face, looking ridiculous as ever.
Oh.
Suddenly, she starts chanting rituals in her native language, and it seems as though she is asleep. However, she's still talking.
Oh my gosh.
She puts down the masks with a fake terrified look on her face and looks at you. I don't think you want to know.
All right, Ding, make a deception check.
So I got 17.
Okay. So, Rue. Okay, so now you need to do an opposed persuasion check, which means you need to roll a persuasion check. So roll a d20 and add your persuasion skill.
Okay. Alright, and I have proficiency in persuasion, so I add 2.
Yes.
I add 2 plus anything else.
2 plus your charisma mod. It's in the blank beside it.
Okay. 2, 5. So that's 23.
Oh my god, okay. So Rue is not convinced.
Fuck.
Alright then, I guess not. And then Ding proceeds to go back to her seat, disappointed but not showing it.
just crossing your magic arms like Fred, stupid. Okay, so after a moment, Maromir is all like, "Let me ask y'all something. What is your favorite snack when you're out and about?" And you can see her already have the can of baked beans open and a mess kit out, and she's like about to feed herself beans.
Beans.
By the way, if you have rations, you can choose what they are. I assume that your character stocked them with having options.
Anything with fish, really. So like sushi. No, salmon.
No, salmon. I like the pivotal change.
I want to make it simple. I like fish.
Personally, I love myself a good apple. It doesn't matter green or red. An apple's an apple.
Is that where you pop out from your pack?
Yeah.
Okay. So, after a moment of, like, eating half the can of beans, Maromir looks over to Ding and notices that Ding is just sitting there like,
fuming to herself.
and then like, "Hey there, Dingy. Do you not have any food on you?"
Looks at Mara. No.
And after a moment, Marumeru puts her can of beans down and looks in her pack, and she retrieved a day's worth of tuna salad. So it's not exactly fish, but you may add a day of rations to your pack.
It's imitation crab meat.
Oh no.
Dude, fuck yeah.
And now you may eat it. You're going to need to eat because your character is hungry.
Okay. Ding looks at the wait, she's offering it to Ding, yeah?
Yeah, she's just straight up giving it to you.
She grabs it, looks at it for a moment. Close enough. Eats it.
Close enough.
She starts eating it. Could use a bit more, like sea salt, maybe.
Needs to taste more like the sea.
That's what being cursed does to you.
But it's after this moment, it's like, well, it's okay. I've always been one to look after the little people.
She looks at Maru kind of pissed off, but like she can't say anything because she just got food. So,
so like you're like a cat in a food bowl, angrily looking up at their owner, but they're hungry, so they eat the dry food anyway.
Yeah.
And it's during this exchange that you don't notice that Mass slips off on his own, and he's no longer sitting there amongst us in the fire. And then Marumaru picks up her can of beans again, and she's like, well, it's like I said, if y'all have any questions, feel free to ask, but, I feel obligated to ask y'all, so what is the last thing you remember before waking up here? What is your last memory of you doing what you did in the world? And then she affixes her attention to you, and she continues to eat the beans.
The bean.
You beans. Who wants to go first?
Oh, let me start the timer again too, right? There we go.
Well, so, the last thing I remember was making business with people. About fortune telling. And then I walked outside and I felt like something hit me really hard in the head. And I just woke up.
And then
without a hat.
And then you woke up here.
Yeah, I woke up here without a hat and I was really pissed. And then I met her. Points at Rue.
Well, what I can tell you is I think I might know someone who might be interested in your, she scratches her head for a second she's like, in your capability to make money with few resources.
Her eyes flicker. I'm sorry, what?
Marumaru quickly moves on, and she's like, what about you? What's the last thing that you remember? Oh, is your connection going poo-poo?
Oh no.
I'm breaking up, I'm so sorry.
It's fine, it's just, what is the last thing? And she's like, what about you? What is the last thing that you remember before being here?
The last thing I remember, huh? That's a good one.
Rue mulls it over a bit, taking absent-mindedly taking a bite from her apple, staring this way and that before returning her gaze.
Well, I remember.
Rue absent-mindedly takes a bite of her apple, looking this way and that beside her before returning her gaze to Maru.
Well, the last thing I remember is.
She suddenly jerks back, crossing her arms and facing away.
Ugh, that's way too embarrassing to. Look, don't worry about it. Just know that I ended up here. I'm here now, and this is just what's gonna happen, I guess.
Ding looks at Rue. You know, I can look at the future and the past, dude.
Oh.
And then you notice that Marumaru looks at you kind of knowingly, like holding back laughter.
Oh no.
You better slip before I put it on.
Look, just.
You're gonna have to pass a persuasion check if you want her to actually tell you.
God damn it.
Do you want to do that? Because
Should I?
If you want to do something to declare the action, then I'll adjudicate the result.
Is there a soft refusal? Like, she kind of doesn't want to do it, but she kind of does because she's scared being put on the spot.
Yeah, there is, but if Ding wants to initiate her persuasion check, she can.
I kind of want to do that. You know what? Fuck it, let's do it.
And then, let me teach you about another thing, another mechanic. And Marumaru is like, yeah, you know what, I'm interested in hearing what's going on too. And this is called the help action. And when someone helps you try to do something, you get to roll a check with advantage. So you roll 2 d20s and you pick the higher number.
Oh shit. Dude, I can use
Oh no!
Dude, fucking... Wait, hold on. You ready?
Yeah.
Dude, Rue is fucked.
You fucking ready for this? I got a 9 and a 6. Oh,
Okay,
shit.
so you pick the 9 and add your persuasion. Are you proficient in persuasion? You're not,
no.
so you just add your
I'm
mod. So 11.
11.
I consider that a DC 10, so that's a pass, but you can choose to only give a very vague, small amount of information. You don't have to give the whole story.
Yeah, I would have to kind of know though. You know?
Like, I could interpret it as Rue being a little intimidating, being like, okay, I'll tell you a little bit.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, fine. Let's just say I was with someone special, okay?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Just had to try to, like, piss you off.
Oh.
Oh. So it's at this point that Marumeru slaps her knee, she laughs a little bit. And she's all like, well, I'll tell y'all right now that I have seen both of y'all before, and you have them invitations for a reason. Now, I'm worried that there's one missing, but you know what, that's okay. We can always make more if we got to. But, I have someone that I'm sure would like to meet both of y'all, and they can give you both food and bed for at least a time.
Do they have fish?
We could probably go fishing, I'm sure.
Whatever. Close enough. Food is food, I guess.
Something that I need to tell y'all is, I'm sure you don't know where y'all are, but this realm is called Clemmacia, and there's a lot of people like me in it, and there's a lot of people your size in it, and she points at Ding. Except they're not quite as small as you all the time.
She frowns.
Rue makes a small jab at her.
Oh, look, you can make some tiny little gremlin friends, Ding. Aren't
Well, I
you
bet they're not as-
excited?
Well, I bet they're not as big as you. I mean, have you seen yourself?
Marumeru's like shrugs her shoulders. He's like, it's true, I'm like one of the only people that look like this, but now I've got someone that looks similar. It's
fuck.
real. There are others.
Oh, shit.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad someone else is glad I'm here too. Unlike some people.
She passes a stain guy to Ding.
So after a few moments, Marumeru claps her hands and flattens the bean can that she's eating out of, and then she deposits it into an empty pocket in her backpack. Seems like she's not one to litter. But she's like, well, I'll tell y'all what. I was sent, I don't know if this makes sense to any of y'all, but I was sent to other, she kind of makes a hand motion like she's trying to summon words, to other realms, and I was tasked with finding people that seemed capable to help us out.
Uh-huh. On what specifically?
Well, you can definitely see her stammer and struggle. She's not trying to hold back information, she's just really struggling to come up with phrasing.
Yeah.
We have a general need for help, especially financially.
I can't help you there, mister. You see, I take money, I don't give.
Well, I feel like in a world like this, you're liable to be stomped on before you get a chance to make a gold piece.
Hey.
Oh. Rue crosses one leg over the other as she leans back.
Well, if there's two things I know, it's about currency and helping.
And I can tell y'all right now that if you're not super into the prospect of getting a job per se, there are lots of exploration tasks. As you can see in Clemmacia, we are in a world that seems to shape itself within its own whim. And as she says this, a pathway behind her suddenly, the trees spread apart and there's a clear path through a foggy area. You can't see very far into it, but it is a path when there were no paths before. There is now a path. And then Mara Mayer looks over her shoulder and is like, see? The land has a whim of its own, so when you're going out and trying to get the job done, sometimes nature says no. Sometimes nature says yes. It's very complicated. It's why we don't really wind up in the forest, and provided that I am responsible for you and you're in the forest, I had to come in here too. And then she speaks through her teeth and says, and now that I'm in the forest here with you, it's gonna be a little hard to get back out, if you catch my drift.
So let me get this straight. You went here looking for us, knowing full well that the forest would, like, you know, shift and shit, and you chose not to, like, you know, have an easy path out of here.
Marmair pushes her hands up defensively and is like, now listen here. I don't have a choice as to where you're dropped off, but we need to drop you off in a desolate spot to make sure that with your appearances that you wouldn't be instigated upon before I found you. And it seems like both of y'all seem to instigate each other just fine on my own.
Yeah, I guess you could say something like that.
And it's interesting that each and every one of us are quite unique from one another. Now, I don't expect y'all to comply, but if we all stick together, your chances of survival will be way better. She hops up and dusts her legs off in the latex, not latex, kind of like the, is it latex? Yeah, it is latex. Like clothes you wear that like a diving suit and like athletic stuff that's skin tight. Because that's what her shorts are. They're like latex. It might be a bit of time before we can get your answers. Things are a little weird here for strangers like yourselves. So having a native around like me is preferred.
Alright. I've decided. I'll join you, but under 2 conditions.
Alright, name them.
1, I get half of the profit. And 2, I need a ride.
You need a ride? Okay. Mara Mayer last one responds. She says, I can accommodate 2. As for 1, you're going to have to speak to my boss about that.
Rue leans forward, a shit-eating grin on her face.
Well, unlike Ding here, I'd be happy to help on only 1. And that is, you have to accommodate me with some sweet one, so to speak.
Mara Mayer cocks her head to the side and she's like, what are you talking about? Like candy?
You know, like, well, how should I say this? Maybe some cute boys?
Ding opens her mouth and then takes her magic finger and like puts it through her mouth.
Oh, is that what you're doing? Like a look of disgust?
Yeah.
Marmara cocks her head to the other side. It's clear she still doesn't really follow, but she's like, well, I don't know. You're free to do what you want outside of your obligations, but I don't know.
She's basically horny.
Yeah. We can get you both bed, lodging, and probably a paycheck. Until we can figure out a way to get you back home. But that's the most I can give you. Sorry.
No. I mean, to be honest, I was gonna go anywhere because I don't even know where the fuck I am. So that's cool.
And then after a moment, Marmir's like, well, if we don't get going before the path closes back up, we might actually have to stay out here for the night. So I suggest we get to going.
Without realizing, Ding climbs up to your back. You barely feel anything go up your spine. She's just suddenly there. Alright, let's go.
And as flavor Ding, do you want to use prestidigitation to snuff out the campfire?
Sure.
How do you do it? Do you snap your fingers, or do you make a certain effect happen?
I wave my fingers on the air, having like a gust of air, and just throw it at it.
Marmir's like, wow, that was neat. How'd you do that?
You believe.
You must believe.
Rue makes a Rue makes a loud gagging sound as she stands up.
Okay, so now all of you are on your way, and we're going to hit the third pillar of Dungeons & Dragons, and that is exploration.
Oh boy.
It's surprises
yeah.
for everyone, because I have nothing written for this section, and I'm going to be practicing my improvisation skills.
Oh boy.
So
Yeah.
usually I'll be like, okay, and I'll just throw the first thing that comes to mind. So when you're going in exploration, you are able to use your skills. So that long box, both of y'all, this is skills. You'll be looking at that often. So
Okay,
make notation of where it is and
skills.
how to read it, because in exploration there are elements of social. There might be elements of combat, but seeing as we already ran like an hour of it, I don't see necessity to run more. So, so here we go. Outstretched before you see a, it's definitely more of the same. There are more spindly trees with loose tree roots. There's definitely more fog. And the ground seems to alternate between dry dirt, somewhat moist dirt, and just straight up marsh. So as you travel forward, you see a series of spindly trees sitting up, and you may walk between one of 3 of these trees. Actually, you know what, Ding? You're hitching a ride, so I get to make your movement decisions.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so the 3 trees that are there, you have a choice. So the tree on the far left, it seems to be a pale white tree with black spottings. Its roots are firmly laden into the ground, and it seems thicker than most of the other trees. The middle tree is it seems to be a thick-trunked oak tree. It has several branches, and you can see the branches are tangled with vines, and the third tree is just literally the same as the other trees. It's just a dead swamp tree. You're going to have to walk very close to one of them to pass, so what will you do? Which tree would you like to walk beside? And given that you have observed that the plant life before you attacked you, you seem a tad apprehensive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk near the white tree.
You're gonna walk beneath the white tree. Okay. So as you're walking beneath the white tree, a small breeze goes through the air, and you hear the vines above you rustle as a net falls down upon you. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh no!
So
Dexterity?
roll a d20, and I know for a fact you're not proficient in dexterity saving throws, so you add your dex mod.
Dex mod in what?
And your roll, d20.
Okay. Oh, I got a 6 total.
Did you roll low again?
I rolled a 3.
Oh no.
Oh.
So you are a net drops on you and you're trapped in the net. It doesn't like bring you up or anything. You can see as the net falls on you that it's made out of just interwoven vines. It's not like a Marshall net that's made out of chain or metal.
Oh.
So Marumeru is walking past the fat tree. And as she's walking, there is a root that comes up, and she's about to trip on it. So she's going to make a dex save too. Getting a 12, she is proficient in dex saves, so a +2, and her dex mod is 2. So she succeeds her dex check. She kind of stumbles for a second, but then she catches herself. Ding, do you have any comments about that?
I guess she stumbles, but she doesn't really, like, unstick or anything. She just kind of, is more aware now. She's like, looking around, like, oh, jeez.
Alright, so Mel, with this net, you can either choose... when you get in a situation like this, you're in a position of choice as well. Considering that's a net and you have a dagger, you could choose to make an attack roll against the net to possibly make a hole in it and get out, or you could just try and throw it off with a strength check. Or if you have a spell that might dissipate the net, you could use that too. So what shall you do?
I'm gonna attack with the daggers.
Alright. So you're gonna do a 2-weapon attack? With both of your daggers?
Yeah.
Okay, so roll for hit. Roll for hit, add your dex mod.
So that's D10.
D20 for accuracy.
D20. Next. It's a 5.
And your proficiency, which is 2. What's your dexterity modifier? 3?
Yeah.
You hit the net. Roll a d4 for damage. Add your dexterity modifier.
Jeez. D4?
Yeah, d4. D4, add your dex mod.
Okay. Seven.
Okay, so you deal 7 damage to the net, and you do successfully cut a hole wide enough for you to climb out. Marumir looks over and kind of sees your hair messed up and bits of vine caught in your hair, and just like, wow, what took you so long?
Rue growls and just dusts herself off.
As each of us walk about 20 feet from the trees, the dead tree on the far right just straight up falls over. Like, it just... And we're all thankfully out of range, so no one is affected by this.
Cool.
Oh.
So, this is the thing with exploration, is, as you're moving, you can declare action to try and perceive your environment to see if there's hidden stuff, or if there's traps. Or you can just move at a normal pace and just deal with the traps.
Got it.
So that was an example of moving at a normal speed without detecting trappers. So your skills like investigation, nature especially would be a good one if you have that, since this is all natural. It would give you some insight as to be like, wait, hold up, that's weird. Or if you have a spell that can affect the environment, like if you could use that instead to interact with the environment. So it's all about interpretation.
Let me see. Forgot what Dean had. I wrote down something.
You have investigation.
Oh, yeah.
I have your character sheet open so I can glance over and look at it.
Thanks. And that's just to, like, look around and stuff, right?
Yeah, you can use investigation to investigate something specifically. So let me describe the next scene here. So everyone's walking through the narrow corridor. It seems like the canopy above is getting slowly brighter, as if the forest is not choking the light out quite as much. And as we're moving forward, you can see that now there are raised dirt patches on the ground, And there are also several vines spread upon the ground, like thoroughly covering the ground, almost like an interweaved carpet. As you're walking through this area, there's no clear path to walk without having to step on one of these.
Name me the paths again?
It's just a straight shot path, and on some of these paths there are occasionally, some raised dirt patches, and there are also some interwoven vines on the ground.
Huh.
And then there are just, like, straight up mud patches.
Okay, so...
And they're evenly distributed between each path. There is no way for you to walk straight across without having to encounter at least a few of these, so...
I think Ding would pop up on Maru's shoulder and look around.
So is there anything specific you'd like to look at?
The vines on the ground.
The vines on the ground. Okay. So there's would you like to get closer to get a closer look? Because you might get a better check if you're close to it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's see. You have a wisdom of 10. You're doing investigation, right? Okay, I'm just gonna give you the info because your intelligence is really high. Just forego the dice roll. But as you're investigating these vines that are on the ground, you can definitely see that they are moving just a little bit.
Yeah.
There is not a gust in sight, but they are moving on their own just a tad.
Alright. She turns around to Rue and Maru. Hey guys, I would highly suggest not to walk over these vines. Anything else is fine, maybe. Possibly, I don't know. But there's something very fishy about these vines.
Amara Mary's like, okay, I won't step on the vines.
Cool. Let me get back on your back.
Okay. That's a free action, feel free to. Rue, would you like to do anything with the environ?
Can I look at the mud puddles?
At the moodless puddles? Sure. I don't have... What is your wisdom? Like, just your straight up score?
10.
10, and what is your perception?
Perception? 10.
Your perception's, are you proficient in it?
Perception, no.
Okay, so that is a 10 plus 0. Alright, I'm gonna need you to roll a perception check then. Roll a d20, and just give me the straight up roll you get, because you don't have any modifiers.
So that's a d20 plus what?
A d20 plus 0.
Okay, let's try this out. That's 11.
Okay, as you're looking at the mud, you can definitely tell that the water is very clouded, so you can't see very far into the mud.
Rip.
Hello? I didn't
that's definitely some mud.
And then, for Marimir's action, she doesn't even bother inspecting the dirt.
Oh, Mario.
Oh no.
Okay. So, Rue, considering your first initiative, which path would you like to walk?
So there's vine, mud, and dirt, right?
Vine, mud, and dirt.
Ding warned you about the vine.
Yeah. Let's go with dirt.
Okay. You walk across the dirt path, and your feet sink a bit into the loose dirt, but nothing happens. It's just straight up dirt. And then Maru Mary looks to her side, and she's like, hey, Dingy, watch this. And after a moment, she starts a dash, and she jumps 30 feet over the entire obstacle course.
Ding screams.
Amazing.
Make
She's holding for her fucking life.
make a dexterity check to make sure you don't fall off in the middle.
Oh no. What do I have to roll again?
You roll a d20. You roll a d20. You add her dexterity modifier.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Oh fuck! I closed it down. 14.
Okay, I made this difficult, so you fall off mid-jump.
God damn it!
And do you know what you landed?
Oh no.
Let's roll a
Mud.
d4 minus 1 to find out. You land in a puddle of mud.
God damn it!
And you notice very
sad.
quickly that this mud is not foot deep as you begin to sink a little bit, and it's very hard to swim out.
Muffled by mud. She's fucking cursing and screaming.
Or there's a bubble surfacing at the top that's getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Oh my god, yes!
And as it pops, you just hear "fuck."
There you go. There you go.
Okay. So Marumeru is at the end of the... It's the end where the dirt is normal, but you can definitely see along this path. There are a few more spots that are different between dirt, mud, and vines. Shiku, you lose your action trying to swim out of the mud.
No!
So you swim out of the mud, and you're buttering on your best. So Rue, in front of you now, you have another set of... You have another choice. You have either mud, vine, or dirt.
Mud and what?
Mud, vine, and dirt. I'm also going to do a quick roll to determine which one's which, because not even I know. Okay, now I know. The dice have told me which one to make bad.
Oh no. The dice has spoken.
The dice have spoken. Keep in mind that you can use your action for any of your, you can also be abstract, so like if you have a staff, you could use it to tap on something to see if it's, if it has good integrity. So don't be limited to just your spells or your attacks or your skills. If you can think outside the box and interpret that, I can interpret that.
Can I stab the mud with my daggers?
You really want to stab them up with your daggers?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, you don't even need to make a roll. So you stab the mud with your daggers, and you now have two muddy daggers. They don't go very much. They don't go much deeper than their. They don't go much deeper than their hilt.
Good job.
Wonderful.
Okay, so which path would you like to take?
Oh my fucking god.
Go the mud path.
Okay. Your feet sinking kind of down to your ankles, and it's a little messy, but you walk about 10 feet, and you emerge. You almost emerge to the other side. You notice that there's another set of choices. Also, Ding is in the mud with you. Hello, Ding.
Oh hi.
In the mud. Can I pick up Ding?
If you want to. Will you allow Ding to get on you?
Sure.
She's muddy. Yeah, you're just completely soaked in mud.
Rip.
It wasn't even bad mud. It was a little deeper than you were, and since you fell flat, it's not very. There's not much depth. So you just went.
Someone save her.
Because this was the good path. I'm all like, I wanted to make it a bad one, but if I give you too much bad stuff, you're going to think I'm going to try to kill you around every corner. And that's not what I want to implicitly teach. Okay, so as you cross the mud, you can hear the dirt path to your left completely collapse, and as you see in, there are sharpened wooden sticks in the bottom. It is strange that there is an elaborate trap, especially out in the middle of nowhere. Now it's Marumeru's turn, and from your side, it is now mud, vine, dirt. What Marumeru is going to do is she's going to pick up a clump of dirt, and she's going to toss it into the... Actually, let me determine what's bad first, and see if she's dumb enough to throw it into the right one. That works. Okay. Oh wow, 20. I can just do whatever I want. I was doing the D20 to see, is my character smart enough to do this?
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, yeah. So what Marumeru does is she gets a stone and she throws it underhanded into the middle of the mud path. And after a moment, you see a muddy hand pop up and catch the stone and then submerge. So those are your choices. You have vine, dirt, and mud this time. Which shall you take? You clearly know that something is up with the mud.
Can I do something, or am I still covered in mud?
What's that?
Can I do something, or am I still covered in mud?
Oh, you're free to do an action now, so feel free.
Alright. So first I wipe my fucking face off.
You could also use prestidigitation to clean yourself.
That's true. Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, yeah, I used that to clean myself, and to get a clear view of what's ahead.
And now you are clean. Feel free to take another action.
Yeah, I did manage to catch the hand grabbing the stone. So I looked over to the remaining paths. They were dirt and what?
They were dirt, vine, and mud, and you know the mud is not good.
Yeah. I look over to the vine, and then over to dirt, and then over to Rue, and then back. I decide to... Ding decides to go towards the dirt and use her hands, since she can call them in and out at any time, to like touch around the dirt.
As you touch around the dirt, your finger makes breakage and it's hollow beneath.
Ooh, okay. She quickly pulls it back and she just goes through the vine.
You walk through the vine. So your tentacles get a little tangled with the vines, but it's otherwise okay. There is just straight up dirt beneath it. And Mel, I will assume you will take the same path, not wanting to hurty.
Can you repeat, please?
I assume you want to take the same path as Ding, so you don't want to get hurty.
Yeah.
Okay. So you make your way through and you meet Marumeru, and he's like, "You guys made it! Why didn't you jump like I did?"
It's like, do I look like I could jump that high? Jeez. I don't even have feet! But like, her little tentacles start to show, and she starts like shivering them around. And it's making like a little...
That was a great tentacle sound! When I imagine the tentacle wriggling noise, like the stock sound effect, I'm going to imagine Ding just going now. Okay, so it seems you have cleared many paths, traps cleared for you. It seems now, it occurs to you, Ding, that maybe this seems a little intentional. The path opened, and it's the only path that you can take. Do you choose to comment on this?
She's what?
It occurs to you that it seems like the path that opened to you was intentional. Do you want to comment on this?
Yeah, okay. You know, I kind of feel like this was like sort of intentional. Do you feel me?
What gives you the idea?
What?
cut out a little bit.
What gives you that idea?
Well, it's just that it's a narrow path, and then you look forward, and that's the only way out. And then you have all those traps over there that we have to figure out. Well, for us two at least, not Maru.
You really do have a point there. You can't argue with that.
Well, what do you think,
Nudge.
Maru?
Maru shrugs. She's like, the Feywild's work in mysterious ways.
Alright then. She climbs back up into Maru. Please warn me before you jump.
And Maru is like, I can't make any promises, but I'll try. If I bend down on my knees and raise my arms, you need to hang on.
Alright, thank you.
Alright, you travel for some time, probably about 5 minutes, and now you are tasked with clearing a chasm. At the bottom of the chasm, you can see many thorny, writhing vines, and what looks like to be monstrous Venus flytraps. You definitely don't want to go down there. So this chasm is about 20 feet wide, and there is no clear way across at this juncture. As you look around, you can definitely see that there are small, stringy trees. There are vines over the chasm. There are 2 vines over the chasm. One is very dry and one is very much alive. Like, it's not writhing, it's just green. It's alive.
Yeah, okay.
And then there's also a very thick-trunked dead tree that is... You can't tell quite how tall it is from here, but it's about 3 Marus tall. And she's about 5 feet tall, even.
Oh.
Marumator puts her hands on her hips, and she looks across the chasm. And then she kind of scratches her head. She's like, well, we're going to need to get across there. That's the only way to go. How do you propose that we do it? You take me. And then Marumeru, like, she lowers her eyebrows. She's like, but then how's Rue going to get across?
That's her own problem?
And then in response to this, Marumeru's like, you know what, Ding? You're on your own for this one. And she vigorously shakes you off.
No!
Oh my gosh! Oh no!
Wait. So I'm shaken off,
And you just fall to the ground.
but I somehow managed to get back on. Can I do that?
Do you want to try?
Yes. Can I just be a thing where, like, it's one of those things where, like, if you try to take it off, it just gets stuck on you, like, in your hand?
How
How
about we have you make a dexterity throw to see if you can hang on?
Okay, cool.
Okay, make one. I have already decided the number in my head.
Alright, so D20.
D20
and then,
plus your dex mod, which is 2.
12. 14.
You... After a few moments, you hang on by 5 tentacles, and then 2 tentacles, and then 1 sucker on 1 tentacle, and then you just barely slip as you fall off.
Damn it.
Marumeru moves exactly 30 feet away, outside of your movement distance.
Oh, fuck. Oh, well.
But she is on the same side as you. So, to go over what is here, there's a dead oaken tree that's about 3 times as tall as Marumeru. It's very thick at the trunk. There are 2 vines over the clearing, which you will have to jump to grab. One is very dried, and one is green and alive. It's not writhing, but it's not shriveled up.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are several small stringy trees on this side. They're like very small saplings, so you could pull them out of the ground using your hands. If you so choose. And the chasm is 20 feet wide.
I'm trying to think.
Can I use
Well,
my
I have-
whip in this situation?
You could. How would you like to use it?
Alright. Is there any tree trunks to grab onto around?
Okay, Dice says yes. They're on the dead tree that's about 3 Marus tall. A bit over the chasm, about the center, where the same vines are hanging, there is room for you to possibly latch on with your whip and swing across.
Alright, then I'll attempt to use my whip to launch onto the branch.
Okay, so what you do is you make a running start and you jump, and in the air, I'm going to need you to make a, let's see, would I consider this an athletics check, or would you rather use athletics, strength, or acrobatics, dexterity?
Huh?
Would you rather use athletics, strength, or acrobatics, dexterity for this check? It's depending on your interpretation of how you do it. You can just tell me which skill you use for it, so you don't have to use your crappier skill.
Dexterity.
Okay, so I need you to roll a d20 and add your acrobatics.
I rolled an 11.
So that's a 16. I'm going to call that a success. As you're going across, as you swing across the chasm, your whip latches onto the branch, and you can definitely feel the dead tree is uprooting as you're swinging across it with your girth. But you do successfully make it across to the other side of the chasm with whip in hand. The dead tree that's on our side is now like kind of half uprooted. And from investigation, you can definitely see that it is not tall enough to reach all the way across the chasm. It is like 5 feet short of reaching all the way across.
Jeez.
And, okay, so, Brew, I'm going to say that is your action. You're across, you did it. So, Ding.
I'm trying to figure it out, man. I can't go on vines, because fucking Dane can't jump.
Yeah, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. You can't jump.
I can't jump, so
Oh,
my only two
no.
options is what again?
There are lots of small saplings you could pull up and possibly use on this side.
Huh.
Would you like to also look on the other side of the chasm and see if there's anything there?
Yeah, let me look at the other side first.
Okay, Bruce, so now on your side of the chasm, there is a very thin tree that is definitely tall enough to reach across the chasm, but it's very narrow. Seems like a creature of your size, Rue, would not be able to cross it if it were pushed down.
God, jeez.
So Ding, you see this. Would you like to communicate?
Yeah. Hey, Rue!
Yeah.
Angel, did you just growl at me? Sorry. Could you do me a small solid, please?
Well, it depends on what that solid is.
Well, you see that tree over there? The really thin one?
Mm-hmm.
I want to see how hard you can punch it.
I can punch it.
Yeah.
And then Maru
Well,
chimes
that
in.
sounds reasonable.
Maru chimes in. She's like, you can also give it a big meaty kick.
Yeah. I just want to see if you can do it.
And then Maru also says, you are great swinging across there. I would never have thought of that. Show me how strong you are by kicking that tree.
This all makes it sound like they're just trying to get a tree to fall on her.
It's also a thing of like, with Maru, she's trying to pump you up to be like, yeah, you're awesome, kick the tree.
It's
Yeah, kick the fucking tree.
And this tree is very close to the end of the chasm. Like, you can see its roots are kind of hanging into the chasm a little bit, but it's half in the ground. And we're not going based on traditional turns, and when you're exploration, you can take your turns in any order and take as many actions as you call them out. So, Rue,
Okay.
if you want to do this, you can do it immediately. You don't have to wait.
Roll, please. Kick the tree. I need to get across.
I will go to punch the shit out of the tree.
Alright, so, make attack roll against trees. Roll d20 and straight up add your strength to it. Or add your strength mod. Duh. Duh! You'll know what I mean when I say it later.
Alright, so that's 22.
Alright, that's absolutely a success. I'm gonna roll the tree's AC for hitting the other side of the chasm. Oh. Okay. So, you successfully punch the tree down, and you hear it come down with a crash. It barely grapples onto the edge of the chasm, but you hear a sickening crack as you can see the integrity of the middle of the tree. Begins to split,
geez.
and it falls upon itself into the chasm, and you see some Venus flytraps open and just rip the organic material of the bark and the tree apart in mere moments.
So,
Oh god.
Ding was watching that the entire time with the smile that turned terrified.
Yay!
then-
And then, woo!
Hooray! Great, I guess. Great.
So, Ding, from behind, you feel two hands clasp onto you,
Oh shit!
and then Marumeru swings you up and behind her head, and then Marumeru shouts, "Hey, Rue!
Oh no!
Yeah.
Catch!"
No! She holds onto your hand. She holds onto your hand. Please, I prefer your jumping.
Rue reaches up her hands in preparation for what's about to come.
So what Marumeru is going to do is, do you know the Olympic discus throw where they kind of like spin around in place a little bit before they throw?
Oh no!
So Ding, you need to make a strength saving throw or become dizzy.
Oh shit! Okay. A strength saving throw? Okay, hold on.
D20, add your strength mod.
Got it. D20. Fuck. I need to stop closing the program. Anyway.
Rip.
And then my strength. Oh shit.
What is it?
4.
So you
5. 5 minus 1.
So you become dizzy and you cannot grab on with your suckers.
Oh no.
And the Marumeru makes a, since you're dizzy, she gets advantage on the throw. Hey, Rue. Does a 21 pass your AC? So Marumeru flings Ding with an incredible velocity.
Oh my
And you
fucking
hold your hands up to catch Rue, but instead she lands right in your stomach and knocks you back about 10 feet. It was an impressive throw.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
You don't take any damage, but you are knocked off of your feet.
Oh,
Rue
my
tumbles
fucking-
back in a ball before lying flat on her back,
And then
holding
Ding,
her stomach.
and then Ding's hat falls on your face and covers your face while Ding sees stars.
I hate my life.
Someone save Ding.
This is so sad.
Because I'm making everything have an element of failure, and I'm like, I know exactly what I'm gonna do if that tree breaks.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
So, after this, Marumeru's like, right, now I gotta get across. And what she's gonna do is she's gonna hop over onto the live vine, and she's gonna attempt to swing across. I'm gonna say that's a strength check, so +2. That's a pass, but as Marumeru lands on the edge, the dirt beneath her feet begins to crumble, and she starts to tilt back, and she starts swinging her arms like trying to get her balance again.
Oh.
You guys have a short time to act. You have one action.
I'm fucking dizzy, dude. I don't know what you expect me to do.
Wait, so what's happening?
Marumeru is about to fall backwards into the chasm because she barely made it on the edge, and it's starting to crumble beneath her weight.
I go to grab Maru's hand.
You do grab Maru's hand,
Yeah.
and as you pull back, you start to feel yourself being tugged with her rather than pulling her out.
Oh no!
Ding, what will you do?
So I shake the fucking stars out of my face, and I see what's going on. I debate for a second if I should even try to help.
Oh!
But ultimately I decide, whatever, and I
Ding, help!
I don't know what to do.
Help!
I grab out with my tentacle. I don't know.
Not gonna end well.
And both of you, I need both of you to roll a strength check. So roll d20 and add your strength.
Oh, fuck, I have like 6.
You just roll what?
Roll a d20 and add your strength mod to the roll. And I'm gonna have
Okay.
I'm gonna have Meru make a saving throw too. Okay.
So basically, I'm just putting my poor ass tentacles on Rue, and then the other one on the ground, and I rolled a 7 minus 1 equals 6.
Oh, okay. What did Rue get?
So I got a 12. I got a 12 plus 2, that's 14.
Okay, I got a 17 plus 2, which is 19. So, Marumeru slips, but with Rue holding onto her hand and her other hand grabbing a dense vine root, she manages to not fall into the chasm. And with Ding's help, Rue does not get pulled into the chasm. Albeit barely.
Oh,
Barely.
barely.
It's a few more minutes, but everyone is situated and climbs out and gets a good distance away from the chasm. Probably about a good 10 feet.
Ding is
Big
panting.
fuck.
Marumeru catches her breath. She's like, whew, thank you. I thought I was going to be able to clear that. I just thought it'd be fun to use the vines for a change.
Fuck.
Out of all the obstacles in this forest, who would have thought that slipping and falling into the chasm would have been our greatest one?
Marumeru
it's
shrugs and
just-
she's like, do you want to find a living tree? I sure the hell don't. Okay, how are we doing on time here? Alright. Okay, so, pass through the chasm, and you can almost see the sky. You look up, and you can see through the dense canopy above you. And before you is tall grass. The dirt beneath you is dry. You can definitely see the fog is starting to dissipate. It's impeding your way probably about 80 feet down the corridor here. But you can see clearly. It's no longer like dark vision and greens and nasty swamp colors. So there's quite a lot of tall grass. You can see the...
I feel like it would kind of make Ding like squint badly because it's really bright.
Oh yeah, feel free to.
Yeah.
It's not bright light, but it's just light.
Well, still, it's a little bright for her.
Yeah.
She has to pull her head down to kind of make shade.
Make shit for think.
I can't see.
Ding and Rue. As the light is shining onto the tall grass, you can see the glint of a gold coin. As you look down the corridor, you see the glint of silver coins. Matter of fact, there are several spots in the grass that seem to just have things littered within them. Would you like to take a minute, up to 10 minutes, to search through the grass and see what you find?
Oh, fucking course.
Okay.
Ding loves money.
Now we get to use the D100 or the percentile die. I imagine you guys have a D100 instead.
I got a D100, yeah.
Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll me a D4, and then you're going to roll me a D100.
So I got 4 and an 86.
Okay, Ding, you find 8 silver. You find 8 silver pieces and 6 copper pieces.
Oh.
Add that to your monies.
I got 92.
And what is your D4? Okay. Oh yeah, duh. You only roll 2 dice, so you got a 90 and a 2. You find 9 silver pieces. Marumeru is
Nice.
also going to investigate the grass here. She gets a 90, and she gets a 4. Marumeru finds 9 gold pieces.
Fucking lucky.
SMH.
Okay, so this search costs 2 minutes. We still have about 8 more minutes. You want to search again?
Yes.
Alright.
Yes.
Roll 'em, boys. Roll the same exact dice.
Got it.
Ah, these dice are heavy,
Oh,
and I kind of put
yeah.
my hands. There we go.
Fuck. I got a 4 and 12. Damn it.
Fuck. I got 2 and 10.
No.
God damn it.
Okay, so Rue, you find 2 silver pieces. Ding, what did you get?
4 and 12.
4 and 12. You find 1 gold piece and 2 electrum pieces. And then Marumeru finds 7 silver pieces. Alright, we're continuing to travel down the corridor. Do you want to search again?
Yes.
Okay, roll 'em.
So I got a straight 4. My 100 was 0.
Okay, so... Because a 0 is a 100.
Oh.
Oh.
What?
So I'm struggling to come up with something to give you, because that's the best possible result you can get.
Oh, fuck.
I keep forgetting, like, 0 is the best one. I think it's, like, lower than 1, and I get, like, jack shit.
What?
So, Rue, in the grass that you search, you find a set of bangles that are a little old, but they're golden. You can tell they have magical properties, but you cannot wear them at this time. So add to your inventory unidentified bangles.
Hell yeah.
And what'd you get, Sammy?
4 and 97.
So you
Yeah.
get 9 gold pieces and 7 electrum pieces. Okay. We're like 60% of the way through the corridor. Do you want to just proceed, or do you want to continue to loot the grass?
Hold on, give me a second.
I wrote this in my equipment box. I hope that's what you meant by inventory.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Also, since I ate a ration of food, should I change the 10 days to 9?
Yeah.
Alright.
I actually gotta reduce mine to... by 2, not 1, because I ate 1 too. Boop.
2 whole beans.
2 whole beans! Well, I gave away a tuna salad.
Imitation crab meat.
Imitation
King.
crab meat salad.
Okay. So, knowing Ding, I feel like she'd look for more, but I kind of want to keep going, so maybe have one of your characters, like, pull me away.
So you want to
Oh my
forcibly be pulled away from searching?
Yes. Because
Okay.
Ding would just be there all day.
So Marumeru's like, now Dingy, we gotta get going. We's almost done.
No, I just one more search, please.
Come on, you're gonna divorce the whole fucking place at this rate.
I need it. I need the gold band.
There's no gold around here. The only thing you'll find is mold.
Continues looking at
According
you.
to her book.
Oh, you're gonna continue looking? Alright, let's do it again.
Wait, no, you're supposed to pull me away, dude.
Oh, okay, so Marumeru peels you away while you're in protest.
She's screaming like a baby, like, "No, mommy, I want to be here."
Amongst different roll-ups.
Okay, so Mel, you're cool with moving on too? Or do you want to search more?
I'll move on.
Okay.
move on.
Mayor also moves on. So, you walk through the rest of the grass, and there's nothing wrong. Ding, you see several silver gleams, and other things that pass you by, and you feel a string of drool drip down from your jaw.
I desperately just want to, like, jump off of, like, Maro's arms.
Unfortunately, you do not.
Yeah.
And you walk for 5 minutes more, and now you are in an open clearing. As you look out, there is a yellow dirt path. There are several sprawling hills filled with green and flowers, and there's another dense forest just to your right. However, it's not like really horribly marshy and terrible like the one you were just in. It's full of like actual trees, birch trees, oak trees. Good, nice trees.
Good boys.
Marumair turns on and she's like, well, we finally got out of there. And as she turns around, you notice the marsh trees begin to quickly recede as if the entire forest is retracting into the ground and sprouting elsewhere as if it's moving like a cloud.
Huh.
And it moves at a very rapid rate. Like, if for each like 6 seconds you look at it, it moves 10 feet.
Oh, wow.
It is strange to behold. You see a forest literally walk before you. But now you are no longer within its boughs and you're out beneath the open sky. It's a bright day, probably about noon. The sun is very bright.
Ding does not take lightly to this.
Is that a pun?
It wasn't, but it can be.
Oh no! Pun this!
And
And then Marumair returns. She's like, isn't that masked feller still in there? And then she her sentence trails off as the marsh forest is just long gone.
Rip.
Gone. And then she shrugs. He's like, oh well. And she does the chest motion of rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
It's clear to you that she does not have much faith in Outlanders surviving in the wilds.
Rip. Ding is just too focused on money on the ground.
Unfortunately, the grass with money in it also went in the forest. You did get a good haul though.
Oh. Yeah, it did though.
So Marumair turns to you and she's like, well, now to hold up my end of the deal, I suppose I should show you where we should be crashing for a while. It's gonna be another about 5-minute walk. You don't mind, do you?
I mean,
I'm sure Ding doesn't mind because she's not even walking.
Yeah, of course. Otherwise, your 5-minute walk would be like a 10-minute for me, or even longer. An hour, maybe. Who knows? Depends on how these tentacles move. Need I remind you? I do not have feet.
No feetes for dingus. Okay, so you guys walk for a bit on a path, and then Marumair stops in front of a very large, dense birch tree. Impossibly large. It's probably about 20 times the size of a person.
Oh.
And then she turns to you and says, okay, friends, if you haven't opened your invitations, I suggest you do so now.
Rue reaches into her bag, shuffling her hand around before pulling the invitation out between two fingers.
Sorry,
Ding grabs a dagger to open the letter, since her fingers aren't real.
Oh, yeah, you do have like a letter opener, that's right. In your little scholar pack, that's right. Okay.
Oh, right, I do! I forgot.
Oh, it's fine. Okay, so as you open the letters and you read it, let's see, here it is. You read it, and it says, to whom it may concern, I'd like to present this keepsake to you. Should you wear it round your neck, it shall bring you opportunity, strength, and otherworldly luck. In confounding times, it hopefully may serve as a beacon of clarity and protection. I'm a lady of meager wealth and history, It is my hope that this trinket of goodwill shall act as a bridge between your kind and mine. Should you ever need an entertaining escape, don this round your neck and cut the lights. Then ask Jamie, can you hear me? I hope to hear from you soon. And inside the envelope is a silver piece with a specific visage embossed onto it, and there's a thick black string that you can wear around your neck. Ding, when you hold your string, you can see that it alters itself in size to not be overly large. Like, it's just the right size to fit around your head and your neck.
Oh my god.
This is a strange curiosity that you behold. Also, rude. The same thing happens, except it gets a bit larger to fit over your head.
Weird. I look at it for a while, and then look at Maru. How much is this worth?
Oh.
Maru narrows her eyebrows as she looks down at you and doesn't respond.
Only joking, only joking. She puts it on. By the way, who, do you know this J.E. Mai character?
Maru Mayer looks to you and she's like, well, she is a friend of mine. I don't know if friend's the right word. But she is friendly toward my cause. So what happens is inside the letter as well is a trinket. It's like a silver coin embossed with a different picture than a normal silver piece, and there's a thick black string. As you hold it, the string increases in size to fit round your neck. What do you do with the trinket?
I put it around my neck.
What about... Oh, ding, you already put it on.
I already put it on, yeah.
And then after a couple moments, Mamie's like, Mamie? What?
Mamie.
Maru's like, Jamie, can you hear me? And then suddenly you find yourselves not in front of a large tree anymore, but now you are again in... Do you remember when you were in the marsh forest thing where you were enclosed, completely surrounded by trees with no paths out?
Yeah?
You are now inside another one of those, except it's more spacious. The sky above you is blue, the sun is out. There are several small buildings. There's a garden. And there are a few people here.
Huh.
And then out of your periphery, you hear a window open. She's like, yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. And as you look up, in the window, you see a rabbit with a heart-shaped black nose. She has thick, curly, black hair. And she has ears that stand up on her head, but you notice that, like, 1/3 of her right ear is missing. So from here you meet Jamie, and that's where we're going to end this session for now.
Yeah, I love it. It was
Hell
great.
yeah.
It's so much fun.
It was very fun.
So you guys got a taste of, like, how to do everything for the first time. You got a taste of all the pillars of exploration. Normally I have hazards and I have maps for exploration, which if... Next time I will have one, a simple map. That way
Okay.
I can throw more onto it and you can find more stuff. This time I was like, okay, hypothetical. So, thank for trying D&D with me. If you guys want to play again, we can schedule another time. But for now, I'm gonna go off the record and stop the VOD. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed the VOD. I'm currently working right now to plan for the next module for the session I'm going to be writing. I'm going to have to keep in mind I'm probably going to have a new character that's not the same as Mask was, so I'll have to account for that. If you have any feedback for me, how I can handle things better, or if you have any questions about the setting, if you have any questions about rules or anything, please let me know in direct message at any time. I am your Dungeon Master, and it is my duty to make sure that you are accommodated to the maximum amount of my ability. It sounds like everyone had fun. I literally just did the supercut. I'm recording this in Audacity right now. Had a very good time. I look forward to doing this as often as we're able. Maximum once per week. Minimum once every other week, if possible. We'll see. As soon as I have some content written for you guys, I'll come to y'all, ping y'all on the server. You know what's up. Anyway, Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you again for trying Dungeons & Dragons. I hope to see you again in Session 1 of Clemmacia Chapter 1? I need to come up with a campaign name for this one. That's not the same as the last one. Ah well, I'll work on that later. Peace out.